Welcome, welcome. We're going to start in just 1 second. Give me just a second while I share the video real quick. If you're here, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys. 1 second and we'll get started. Today's the takeover for the Great Bead Extravaganza, and I'll be sharing in the Great Bead Extravaganza all day today, and doing some fun things over there. Okay. 1 second, guys. Here we go. All right. Hello, Christine and Candy. Welcome, you guys. Let's get this party started. Hello, hello. I'm Heather Powers from Humble Beads. Dink. I'm a bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and your all-around creative muse, and it's my job every week on Wednesday to bring you a free project to get those beads off your bead table and into some jewelry. So I hope you guys are excited about today's project. It's going to be a fun and simple one, and I think you're really going to like it. I want to say hello to you guys who are watching. Feel free to say hi. Is it feeling like spring where you guys are at? We're being teased with spring. But of course I live in Michigan, where it's 25 degrees one day and 60 degrees the next, so we never know. Hi, Shelly and Amanda and Curtis. Hi, Curtis. And Dawn and Christine. Hello, hello. All right, guys. So if you guys don't know about the Great Bead Extravaganza, this is a group of jewelry designers and bead companies that put together live events 4 times a year during the seasons. And so our next one is the Spring Fling, which is going to be April 8th through the 10th. We'll be having free projects the 9th and 10th with all of our presenters, and I will be doing a presentation on Sunday at 12:45 Eastern Standard Time on the 10th. And if you haven't had a chance to see that project, it's this pendant that we're going to be making, and we're going to be riveting and making that cool pendant clasp combo, and I think you're really going to love that project. And there are kits available on the website. We're doing pre-orders and then hopefully getting them all shipped out by Friday. I'm anxiously awaiting chain, so hopefully that'll be here by Friday. Hi, Brooke, my fellow Michigander. Amanda, everything's covered in ice. I'm so sorry. And hello from watching on YouTube. Thanks for joining us there. Grabbing something real quick. All right. And so on the Takeover, which is the Great Bead Extravaganza group, just go ahead and look for that group. If you're not a member already, be sure to join us, because we're lots of fun and we always have cool stuff going on over there. But today in particularly, I'll be doing 3 giveaways over there for Humble Beads. So gift certificates. So you'll definitely want to join the group and join in the fun. All right. Now, this project is actually a rehash of the project that I did for the Great Bead Extravaganza last month. We're using the same techniques, just switching it up with the beads a little bit. And I'm going to show you how to use seed beads to make a little fringe style knotting on the cord part. So without further ado, I think we're just going to get started and enjoy ourselves. I'm going to just really quick make sure that this is gone into the group. And if it's not in the group, I'm going to ask if someone would repost it for me into the group. If any of my fellow people are watching. Yeah, could someone repost that into the group? I'm just not sure if it's getting into the group, if I did that right. So if you could share the video to the Great Bead Extravaganza group, one of my buddies that are watching, I would so appreciate that. So this is what we're going to make. I'm actually going to be doing it in a blue combination that I pulled together. So I have kits, not very many, but I have some kits on the website, and I have purple, and then I did some blue ones too. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we're going to start with 20 gauge copper wire, and this is dead soft copper wire. You can use para wire if you want for this project. And so I'm going to do about 7 or 8 inches, just because I always want to have more wire than I need. So yes. Oh, Jonalyn, you got your heart today, so you can do this project with whatever beads you have on hand. So this is my, I have about 8 inches of 20 gauge wire here, and this is dead soft copper wire, but you could also use para wire for this project. Oops. And I'm going to grab it at the end here and twist it around 2 times, just like that. And I'm going to pull the end of my wire up through the little loops that I made. And I want to pull this nice and tight. I'm going to do it as much as I can with my hands. And then I'm going to pull out my pliers and work it with my pliers to make it tighter. Okay, see how it's turned to the side there? So it's not going to pull anymore unless you straighten this out a little bit. So I'm going to straighten that up and then push down. And I'm going to do that a little bit more. Okay, get that as tight as I can on the bottom there. There we go. So that's my little knot that's going to be on the bottom, so that I can use this as a giant head pin, basically. And I'm going to string this on my heart, and I have my little knot on the bottom there. And now I'm going to, I bent the wire forward, and I'm going to, I'm leaving a little bit of room there. Do you see that? And I'm going to pull that over the heart to wrap around 2 times around my pliers. So this is a double loop, and I've just pulled the wire around my pliers to give me that double loop. And I'm gonna grab onto the 2 loops and wrap my wire tightly down to the bottom of the heart. And you're gonna get about 2 or 3 wraps on there. And then you're going to wrap on top of the first wraps, going back up towards the loop. And this is going to thicken up your wrap and make it a little more organic looking. So that's what we're going for the loop. Now, you could have darkened this copper before you got started, or you can still brush on a little antiquing solution if you want, but I'm just gonna go with the bare copper without a patina of any kind, just because that was my design choice for this. And you want to tuck in that little piece of wire so it's nice and straight. Oh, Karen, you didn't get a notification. It was yesterday, and so maybe it just got skipped through in all of the hubbub that you get in a day. Okay, so this is the bottom of our pendant. That's all we're going to do for this guy. Now, I have a 17 millimeter rope jump ring, this copper leaf that has a very Art Nouveau kind of feel to it. Love that. And then the little 5 millimeter brass jump ring. And that's, we're going to attach the leaf onto our big jump ring. And actually, I'm just going to throw this on here and then open up the big jump ring because it's easier to slip this on the big jump ring than try to close it. Hi, Shelly. You were watching on YouTube and you decided to join the party over here. Well, thank you. All right. And Lynn, I'm glad you ordered your kit today. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to throw my heart and my leaf on here, just like that. And I'm going to close this up. You can just use your fingers because it's nice and tight. Okay. I have 18 inches of 2-ply wax linen. It has to be 2-ply wax linen for this to work. And darn. Someone has walked off with my with my little paper. Usually I would do this with craft paper or, you know, a piece of paper bag, but I'm just going to have to use a piece of regular paper and I hope it works the same. What we're going to do is polish our wax linen. And again, this is 2-ply wax linen. It has to be 2-ply for this project because it needs to be thinner. And we're going to polish it just by pulling it and rubbing it tightly. Running it tightly through the paper. And this polishes the wax so it's not so built up on the wax linen, and then also it'll go through the beads a little easier. So, and this was 18 inches of 2-ply wax linen, and we have this in all colors on the website. We just restocked it today. And then I have 36 inches of 1.5 millimeter leather, and you can get this at Leather Cord USA. That's a great place. Or actually get it from the Bead Shop, beadshop.com. They're a great bead extravaganza partner, and so buy it from there. They have all different colors, all different sizes, but you want to get 1.5 millimeter leather, and you can get this from beadshop.com. Yeah, let's support our fellow great bead extravaganza people. Okay, I've pulled the two. I centered the 2 strands so they're centered in the middle and folded over to make a little loop. And I'm going to take that loop and push it through the jump ring. And then I'm going to pull the 2 ends, actually the 4 ends, through the loop. And I'm going to push this down all the way to make that lark's head knot nice and tight. So that's what we have going on there. And now I have a 9x12 millimeter roller bead, and these have a super large hole, which is going to work really nicely on this project. I also love that it kind of looks like an artisan bead, so it's a little fancy. And I'm going to slip that first on the 2 leather cords, and then as it gets down to the portion where the wax linen is, I'm going to slip the wax linen through so that all 4 of the cords are going through the roller bead. And I actually kind of want to make that teal disappear a little, so I'm going to make that go above the loop here so that the bottom is the leather cord. So I'm just finessing that a little bit. Oh no, I have to redo that because I will tell you guys a little secret. I just pulled it through the hole on the jump ring. So I'm just going to take that off. What you want to do, or not the hole on the jump ring, but the opening on the jump ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the jump ring opening is on the bottom and not on the pressure point of where we're pulling the cord through. So make sure your jump ring opening is on the bottom of your pendant when you are ready to do this step. And I'm going to slide these all the way through the 4 strands. Make sure I grab all 4 of them. And now I want the wax linen to be on the top, so I'm going to just kind of make that happen as I'm tightening up these cords. Okay, there we go. And now that'll look much cleaner in the design. All right. And now we're going to stick the 4 cords through the beautiful roller bead that I love so much. And now we're ready to do the knotting. So I'm going to separate these 2 sides so that we have the wax linen, which remembers 2-ply wax linen, and the leather cord, which is 1.5 millimeter. And I'm going to start. I have 12 of the flower beads, and these are the 7 millimeter flower beads, and we have these on the website in grab bags, so you get 3 strands, and we'll match them up with your heart or order. Oops. Okay, so I want to string this on so that the bottom of the flower goes first, and the top of the flower goes first, and the bottom is up, and then these little cutie pies. Raise your hands if you're going to need to pull out the readers for these ones. So what these are these are metal seed beads, and you can use regular seed beads too for this project, but I find I like the look of the metal seed beads a little bit more, and also they have a little bit bigger of a hole, and I just like them. So these are metal seed beads. These are antique copper color ones. And I'm going to slip on the seed bead. So I have the flower in the seed bead, and now I'm going to take the cord and I want to pull it back through the hole on the flower bead. Twist your wax linen in the direction that it's twisted already, and that will tighten up the end a little bit, and we're just going to stick that through. And what I have found works the best for this, let me grab a little piece, is to have a little piece of scrap wire. And you're going to stick your scrap wire on where the hole is, the loop on the top here, and then just pull it all the way down to the bottom. And that's going to give you a really nice little knot that you don't have to fight with. And yeah, so there it is. So now what I want to do is I'm going to wrap this wax linen around the leather cord. I'm going to make sure it goes underneath the flower, and then I'm going to pull it up through the loop in the back. And I'm going to do this 12 times, so I'll walk you through 12 more times if you didn't quite get it. And I'm going to tighten that knot. So I'm going to do this again, and I'm just alternating the colors of the beads that I'm going to use. Kind of going to map out evenly, so some of them I just have one color, so I'm going to mix that up just a little bit, or 2 colors. So I got my little beads ready to go. I have my flower on here. I can see this cord on the end has gotten a little frayed, so I'm actually going to cut it because I don't want to fight with it. And now I'm going to twist it so it's nice and tight. And I'm going to slide on the seed bead. Ooh, get a cup of coffee. This is going to take a minute. Okay, and now I'm going to take the end of the wax linen and pull it through So we've made a loop with our little seed bead as the part that catches. Oh, Lynn, that is a fantastic question. These are size 11 seed beads. So they're not the tiniest ones, but they're small. These are size 11 seed beads. Thank you so much for asking that. That was a great question. Okay, now I'm going to grab my scrap wire and pull all the way down as tight as I can go. Then remove the wire and my flowers on there nice and tight. Okay, so to do the knotting, you want to wrap it around the leather cord. Make sure it goes underneath the flower. Only the one flower. You don't want it to go underneath both flowers. So I have the little loop that's going around the cord and underneath the flower. And now I'm going to take the end of my cord and go up through the back and making sure I'm going through the loop on this side of the leather cord. Why am I fighting with it? Okay, there we go. And I'm going to pull this nice and tight. And I'm going to repeat. And I'm just going to do this a little bit quicker now that you know the drill. They are very, very tiny, Lynn. Yeah, this may be a project where you have to pull out the extra lighting and the glasses. It happens for some of the projects, right? All right. And don't skip that step of running the wax linen through the paper bag or craft paper to polish your wax linen so that this part goes a little bit smoother. I had a fuzz there on my wax linen. Okay. You're going to slip on your wire, pull all the way down, remove the wire, and I'm going to do the knot where I wrap it around the leather cord underneath the flower up through the loop from the back to the front of the cord. And pull it nice and tight. This is 2-strand wax linen. Thanks for asking again, Christine. So yeah, you can't do this with 4-ply wax linen, guys. It won't work at all. Of course, you could do the pip project that we did with using the pip beads, like I did in the last video, if you feel like you're not up for the challenge with these little seed beads. But I definitely wanted to show you guys a different little fringe technique with the knotting. Thought it was something fun and interesting to try. And I'm adding that wire in, pulling all the way down until it is at the bottom. And now I'm going to, I guess it does work better if I wrap it around my finger like this. See how that's wrapped around my finger? And then stick it underneath the flower. And then you can just push this through the loop from the front to the back while it's on your finger. And then you're not fussing with it quite so much. Just a little extra tip there for you. Okay, so I have 2 more to do. All right, one more. So how many of you are watching because you saw this on the Great Bead Extravaganza? Let me know. I'd love to know if you've found me recently because of the Great Bead Extravaganza. I almost think it would have been smarter to glue the end of this to make a little needle. Okay, I'm gonna put my wire on there and then pull down nice and tight. Pull out the wire, and now I'm ready to do my knot. So I'm going to take the linen, wrap it around the leather cord and under the flower, and then it's going to go up through the loop on the back here. And I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah. So you guys like this? Oh, yes, it does look like flowers climbing on a vine. I like that, Lynn. And then Curtis, thank you. I do try to get as many different elements as I can in. Oh. So you guys some of you did see me on the TBG. Oh no, is my audio low, guys? It's showing that it's loud on my end. I hate to go through this again. I just pull my microphone a little closer to my face. Oh yes, guys, I do have the 2-ply and 4-ply wax linen, and the 2-ply on my website, it says 2-ply right across the picture so that you can't get confused. And we have it in all different colors, and we just restocked it today, so all your favorite colors are back in stock over there. And that's humblebeads.com if you're new. Okay. Yes, I love the Great Bead Extravaganza group. It is such a fantastic group of designers. Every time we have a Great Bead Extravaganza event, I learn something new. And I've been making jewelry for like 30 years. And I still learn something new from all the amazing talent and creativity of all of the artists on there. So I just love those. Yvonne, you have a wire question. I would love to help you with that. So just go ahead and type it in and I will answer it for you. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll answer it here while we're doing the other side of this project so that we can complete it. Kind of just get a nice relaxing day of beading with me. Alright, here we go. Last one. And so we're doing 6 flowers on each side. I'm going to stick in my wire and pull all the way down. And now I want to take the wax linen, go underneath my flower, and then go up through the loop from the back to the front and tie a nice little knot. And now I'm going to do that same knot where I'm wrapping it around the cord and then going up from the bottom to the top. And I'm just going to do 2 knots to secure it on here. And so exactly the same knots, just you're not worrying about the flower because the flower's not there. And I'm going to push this down a little bit. And you can see all the flowers are in the front. And you can kind of flip these around a little if you have 2 that are the same color next to each other. And just tightening that up a little bit so that there's not a lot of room in between the back, between the 2 flowers. So just tightening this up. So just pressing that knot down closer towards the glass bead. Okay, now let me grab my glue real quick. And I'm just going to use a little drop of super glue. And this is the Gorilla super glue. You can use any super glue or leather glue or Ceylon glue, whatever beading glue you have. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of glue on my knot there. And let that set up for a second. Now I'm going to need 2 brass crimp beads, and we also just put those on the website again. So those are 4mm crimp beads, and I actually am going to use my crimp pliers. Hi Patricia from Plano, Texas, watching on watching on YouTube. All right, so Yvonne's question about wire is, do I have a preference between using para wire or Beadalon German wire? What is the difference and which is better durable for wire wrapping and hammering? Yvonne, I have found that the para wire, the finish on it is much more durable than Beadalon. So if you're using the wire for just wire wrapping, either one is fine. But if you're going to be doing any kind of hammering or fancy wire wrapping that's going to be showing a lot of it and you want to do hammering on it, you would definitely want to use para wire. I also like to use the para wire because all of the finishes match the vintage finishes, which are the components that I like to use, the findings that I like to use. So the finishes are very similar. So that is why I like to use the para wire and do recommend that over any of the other colored copper wires. Tammy, I do not do a tutorial on making my birds. I do have bead making tutorials on my website, and you can go to humblebeads.com and see the ones that I have offered on there. And then this video, Lynn, will be on my YouTube channel or the Humble Beads website, Facebook page, or you can watch it, the replay, in the Great Bead Extravaganza. It will be in all of those. Okay, so this is sufficiently dried, and I'm going to just trim that off. Okay, and because this is waxed linen, it's going to stick to itself. So I'm just going to kind of push it down. I'm going to take this crimp bead, stick my pliers in it, and I'm using my thumb and I'm pressing outward so you can see how I'm doing this to open up this bead. So I'm pressing, the pressure's pressing outward on my thumb here to get that to open up. And I'm going to slide this on top of my wax linen knot. And I'm going to use my crimp pliers to close up this crimp bead. And just making sure it's closed nice and tight. And I want to make sure the edge there isn't going to catch on anything that I'm wearing. Okay, so that's the finished side. Oh, Marilyn, you have the hearts, but you'll be making one of these. Great. And I did add some hearts and kits to the website. I don't know their availability still, but did I get overzealous? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put 7 beads on one side. So let me grab another little orange bead. To make myself feel better. Okay. I did put 7 flowers on the other side. I just got too excited, I guess. Get in a groove and you just keep going. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. I'm not going to talk through it as much and just do it as quickly as I can for this other side so that you guys can see. It's not going to take you a whole hour to make this. Yeah, Cindy, me and math, we don't always get along. It's just the way it goes. Okay, grab my little wire. And doing exactly the same technique. Make sure it goes under the flower. That's the most important part. And then going up from the bottom of the hole to the top there, or cord. Trying to mix up the colors a little so I don't have 3 dark blue beads at the end here. That wouldn't be very snazzy. Oh, Wanda, good. I'm glad you were able to get a kit. Yay! Okay. And you guys, thank you so much for all the orders you've been placing over the last week or so. You know, we really appreciate your support in business. If you're new to Humble Beads and you don't know, it's a family-owned business my husband and I run, and then our youngest is home from college still, and so they are our intern. And help package up all my orders. So it's a family business. We run it out of our home. We have a home studio here where we do all our work and ship all your beautiful orders. Okay. the finishes on these beads, they're not all uniform, so sometimes you have one that's a little bit, the hole's just a little bit smaller. So if that happens, just run your head pin through it a few times to make sure you don't have any coating that's making the hole a little bit smaller. Okay, zipping along now. Oh, Amanda, I absolutely love that. Amanda said she ordered the Great Bead Extravaganza kit for the spring fling and then had to order a cardigan sweater to match. That's how I like to shop too, Amanda. Sometimes you just need that perfect item to go with a piece of jewelry that you made. Oops. Okay, now I'm glad I did that so that I can remind you guys. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing, because you want to make sure that you are going back through the bead, through the flower. If not, you're going to have a funky little strand of wax linen on the side there. And nobody wants that. I'm nothing if not snazzy. Well, thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. All right. I do recommend really good lighting for this project. And because you're working with such small beads, if you have a pair of readers or magnifiers, it doesn't hurt to pull those out. There's no shame in the eyeglass game. Do whatever it takes to be able to see those little tiny beads. Yeah, but just make sure you're going back through the bead each time, or you're going to have a big funky piece of wax linen on the side of your flower. And make sure you work nice and slow and you're paying attention, because once you tie the knot, it's kind of over. You can't really unknot the wax linen. It's very, very difficult. So, oh, see, here I was going to do it again, because I'm multitasking. I don't recommend multitasking when you're making jewelry, especially if you need to pay attention to it at all. Okay. This one is definitely one of those that the hole is a little bit tiny. And so I'm going to, because of the gold finish that's on it, so I'm going to just run that through just a few times. It made the hole a tiny bit bigger, and so I won't have to fight with it to try to get my string in there. I do prefer to work with wax linen cord for this because of the nature of the way the wax linen holds the knots. But I suppose as long as you're using glue, you could use other kinds of knotting material too, other kinds of threads. I don't have any experience with other kinds of threads though, so the flowers are size 7mm, Yvonne, and if you're looking for them, they're on my website, and they're in grab bag packages. So I have a woodland flower grab bag, I have I think it's a celestial night or something, starry night, where they're metallics, and then a bright candy colored grab bag. So we have the 3 grab bags on the website. All right, this one got a little funky on me. Here we go. So I'm going around the cord under my flower. Okay. Around the cord under the flower. And then back up through the loop going from the back to the front. Sorry if I was off camera there for a second. Ah, yes. And now Brooke likes to buy neutral outfits to wear so that she can show off her fancy jewelry. A nice little blank canvas to work with, right, Brooke? I like that. Okay. Almost done here, guys. All right, so you guys know that next weekend is already April 9th and 10th. I don't know how that's possible. But Friday's April 1st. Oops, here I did it again. And next week's our event. So I hope you guys are ready for a really fun time. Set some time aside so that you can create along with us or just have us in your studio playing and watching while you have a day of jewelry making. It's a nice way to have a little mini retreat for yourself. All right. I think this would have been much easier. Well, I know it would be much easier if I wasn't trying to do it so far away from my face. Oh, guys, my eyes are getting old. Someday soon, I'm sure I'm going to have to get a stronger prescription. Oh, can't believe I just pulled that out. All right, and it's going to go much easier for you because you're not trying to do it on camera with an audience. And also, I can't stress enough doing the part with the paper bag where you polish the wax linen. That'll help tremendously, and something I shouldn't have skipped. Should have just found the plastic bag, the paper bag, because the paper, regular paper, for some reason, does not have the same effect as the paper bag. Interesting to note. Almost done here. This would look really pretty for a pair of earrings too, wouldn't it, guys? I think it would. Oh, Marilyn, did you have a hard time finding me? I don't know if this got posted to the Great Bead Extravaganza group. And so I will just have to repost it in there and people can watch the replay. Because sometimes that happens. Okay. Brooke, I have done that too, where my beautiful necklace just gets lost among a shirt pattern. Okay. stick this on here, pull it down all the way. If you haven't heard, I am now posting videos on Facebook, so you can watch all the replays of these videos on Facebook, and I would greatly appreciate if you did. Okay, I feel like I have to add just one more so that since I did 7 on one side, I can't not do 7 on the other side. It would just drive me crazy for no reason at all. It's just the way my brain goes. So you're only going to do 6 because you're going to pay attention to what you're doing and not making mistakes like I did. Okay, that one went in a little easier. Okay, we've done it, guys. We've got to the end here. Sorry, it took me a minute. Wanda, yes. If your necklace isn't visible, you can just go around announcing it and make sure everyone sees it. Okay, well, I'm sorry that it didn't get on the Great Bead Extravaganza page, guys. That's my technical error there. I will post it in the group right after we're done so that people can rewatch it. Okay, so I'm doing the same knot 2 times here. I'm actually gonna pull that down just a little. Okay. So wrapping it around the leather and going up through the back of the cord to the front. And tying that nice and tight. And I'm going to condense those. I'm just pushing the knot down as far as it will go to get all those beads to nestle together. Oh, look at that pretty bouquet. I love it. And so I'm going to do a little tiny drop of super glue there. Just right on the knot, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I've just been using Gorilla super glue for a while, but there's lots of glues you can use. You can use Ceylon, which is beading cord. Beading wire. Beading glue, beading wire, and that works really nicely. Or just regular super glue. There's leather glue that's specifically for leather. You can use that too. Okay, I'm going to take the 2 ends of my leather cord here and cross them over about 3, if this is the center of the back of the cord, then I'm going to cross it over 3 inches on both sides. And I'm going to make a loop like that, and I'm going to wrap the end of this leather around the loop and the cord 2 to 3 times, and then I'm going to push it from the back through the loop, and I'm pulling tightly on this end of the knot and then pushing down on this side, and this is going to give us our adjustable sliding knot. And I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to repeat on the other side. So I have my loop on the end here, and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. I want to make sure I have the loops the same size on both sides. So I'm just going to slip it through the loop, pull it, and press down to tighten that loop nice and tight. So you're pulling the end and then pressing down on the knot. And then trim that off, and now you have an adjustable knot. So you pull on the cord to make it longer, and you pull on the knots and pull it down to make it shorter. And now I'm going to go back to this part because you want that glue to dry a little bit. Trim that off, push that down to the cord, and then we're going to open up this crimp bead. And again, I'm using my thumb, the pressure of my thumb, pushing on the inside of my pliers. Oh, thank you guys so much. Brooke, you're cracking me up with your coconut bra comment there. All right. I want to make sure that that wax linen cord end is inside the crimp bead. I don't want it to be on the outside, and I didn't let this dry quite enough, and so now my fingers are sticking to me. So I think I'm gonna leave it and tighten it up in a few minutes after we're done with the video, because I'm gluing my fingers together here. So here's my finished design. We have 2 of them. So I don't know how many kits and hearts are left, but if there's anything left, it's going to be on the website at humblebeads.com. We do have the crimp beads on the website, and what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll put all of the beads that I used in the kit that we sell on the website. I'll put them all in a category called BTW that's on the top of my website. I have all the different categories where you can shop the categories, and I'll put those all under the one category, so you can just click on there and see everything that you have for the necklace that you can use to build the necklace. And then if I sell out of the hearts, I will do made to order for the hearts, but it will take me about 2 weeks to finish the made to order for the hearts. So if you want to order the hearts, if they're all sold out, just keep in mind that they will be made to order. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not a member of the Great Bead Extravaganza group, please go over and join the group and join us for the fun. I will be having giveaways today, so you don't want to miss that. And then also, oh, not that one. You can subscribe to my email list, but that's not the one I wanted to tell you about. Oh, here we go. The Humble Beads VIP Party Group. If you're not a member of the Humble Beads VIP Party Group, please join us. We've been having fun doing a monthly color challenge every month, and so this is March, and people have 2 more days to enter, and then I pick one of the winners for a $50 gift certificate, and that is every month. And we have the new one. I kind of gave you guys a sneak peek for that yesterday, and so Candy, thank you so much. I do have fun sitting down at my table trying to come up with something new every week that we haven't done before. And so I really appreciate your guys' support. If you would like to order, make sure you use the code TGBE free for free shipping today. And then I also will have a little surprise gift for you guys to put in your order. And so that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to head over to the Great Bead Extravaganza, click on all notifications so that you guys can see when I put the the drawings. There we go. The Humble Beads drawings. I'll be doing 3 Humble Beads drawings today in the group, so you want to make sure you head on over there for that fun. And then we have people the rest of this week. Oh, no, tomorrow doing Takeover, and then I think there's a few more next week too. I could be wrong about that. I have to look at the schedule. But there's a schedule in the group that you can see. And you can, of course, watch the previous people who have been doing the takeovers too. And people have been doing free projects all week in the group also. All right, guys, have a great week. I will see you on Friday at 3 p.m. for a coffee break. And I'll be sharing what I have new and some color inspirations with you guys. And so, yay! Thank you guys so much. So, when we send out kits on Friday, and probably we'll do them Friday and Saturday, Jess will send you guys a notification to let you guys know the kit shipped out and your tracking number so that you guys can follow along and keep an eye out for it. All right, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.